Hello everyone, my name is Nidhi Chauhan. I'm assistant professor in Suresh Gambhir School of Pharmacy. So this is your pharmaceutical organic chemistry first, and today's topic is alkene. So the learning objectives. In this, we will study about the Sedgwick rule, comparison between E1 and E2 reactions that are both are the elimination reactions. There are two type of elimination reactions, so we will do the comparison in between them. And here also we will learn about the chemical reactions of alkene, the different chemical reactions of alkene. The student outcome. Here, the student will be going to know about different reactions involved in the formation of Sedgwick rule, how different E1 and E2 reactions means. Here's how about the Sedgwick rule. The student will going to know, and how E1 and E2 reactions, that both are the eliminations reactions, how both are different in the steps, how the name are different, what are reagents that are reacting with it, what solvent is used in it, and what properties it is having, the E1 and E2 reactions. This we are going to study, and we are also the student will also going to know about the reactions occurring in alkene, means the reactions uh, uh, that are happening, that is occurring by the alkenes. From the alkenes, the different products are formed by reacting with the different reagents. Now, the first is your dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halides. That is your Sedgwick rule. So here in this, the Sedgwick rule mainly involve this dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halide, as the name showing here. So dehydrohalogenation means there is a removal of halogen and the hydrogen from this alkyl halides. So this is your Sedgwick rule. So if the dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halide can yield more than one alkene, according to Sedgwick rule, main product is the most highly substituted alkene. So here we are preparing alkene from this alkyl halides, where there will be a removal of halogen, where there is a removal of halogen, as well as the hydrogen from it, from the alkyl halide, and there is a formation of alkene molecule. And the main product which will be formed is highly substituted alkene. For example, here given, when bromobutane is heated with alcoholic KOH, then there is a formation of 80% 2-butene and 20% 1-butene. So here, when this 2-bromobutane is heated with alcoholic KOH, there will be a formation of 2-butene and 1-butene. And 2-butene is your major product, and 1-butene is your minor product. And major product will be 80% and the minor product will be 20%. So this is a reaction of Sedgwick rule. In this is the main reactant. This is your 2-bromobutane. This is your alkyl halide. And here you can see this bromo is attached to this carbon atom, which is your second secondary compound, secondary carbon. So here it will react with the KOH, which is a base, and there is a removal of H2O. So here you can see in the first step, here this is your secondary carbon cation. So here secondary carbocation is formed, which is more stable than the primary carbocation. So here secondary carbocation, this is secondary carbocation is more stable, and from here you can see this KOH, this has taken the OH, KOH will break out and it will form K positive and OH negative. So this OH negative will react with this H. You can see here CHH. So you will this will abstract this H from here, and there is a removal of water molecule, and there is a formation of carbocation. Carbocation means the carbon containing positive charge. So this is the secondary carbocation, which is more stable than the primary carbocation. So here after that there will be this K positive, and this K positive will react with this Br. This Br will get the negative charge, as it will take the electrons from this carbon, and this K will react with this Br, and this KBr will remove out from here, and there is a formation of this alkene. After that, this is the second reaction which is having. In this you can see the KOH. When KOH react with this 2-bromobutane, the from this side of the carbon, this H is removed out, H is removed, which is proton is removed from here, and there is a formation of this positive charge. Here this carbocation is formed. This carbocation is the primary carbocation. So primary carbocation is less stable than the secondary carbocation. So here the less stable product will be formed. You can see here 1 butene, 20% shown here, 20% will form, and this Br will be removed by this K positive. So here there is a formation of this alkene, which is your 20%. So in dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halide in Sadjev, or it is called Sadjev rule. In Sadjev rule, there are two products are formed. One is your major and second one is your minor. In your major, it will be 80%, and the minor, that is your 20%, and it is 80% is your 2-butene, and the second one is your 1-butene. So secondly, it is carbocation rearrangement. So how carbocation are rearranged? In this, you can see here 2-chloro-3,3,4 trimethyl pentane. It is your pentane. 5. From here, we will start the counting: CH3, CA, C, C, CH, CH3. So it is your pentene, where trimethyl pentane 3,3,4. On the third position, 1, 2, 3. Third position, 2 methyl groups are attached. And on the fourth position, there is a methyl group are attached, and 2 chloro. On the second position, there is a chloro is attached. So on the third position, there is a methyl groups are attached. On the fourth position, there is 1 methyl group is attached. So it is your 2-chloro-3,3,4 trimethyl pentane. When it reacts in the presence of H2SO4, there is a removal of HCl, and there is a formation of 2,3,4 trimethyl pent2E. So here in the mechanism, you can see that CH3, when this we can write this H2SO4 like this also, HOSO3H minus HCl. From here you can see the Cl is removed, CH is abstracted, and here it will get the positive charge, and this is your secondary carbocation, because here CH3 and the CH3 CH3 are attached, but this is your tertiary carbocation, which is having here CH, and here C. So this is your tertiary carbocation, and tertiary carbocations are more stable than your secondary carbocations. So here alkyl shift will occur. So this alkyl will shift from this position to this carbon atom, and after that you can see here this is the secondary carbocation, which is less stable, and there is a shifting of this methyl group from here this position to this carbon, and there is a formation of tertiary carbocation, which is highly stable. So when it reacts with this HSO3H, there is a removal of now H. This SO3H, here will be a removal of H. So here this alkene will be formed. From this position, this H is removed. So here double bond is formed. So here the carbocation rearrangement, we get this product. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So its name is 2, 3, 4 trimethyl pentane. Next is the E1 versus E2. So here E1 versus E2. Here E1 elimination reaction, which is your unimolecular reaction, and this E2 reaction, which is your bimolecular reaction. Here 1 represent your uni and E represent your molecular. So this is your unimolecular reaction, this is your bimolecular reaction. It is happening in 2-step reaction, it is happening in 1-step reaction. It is your carbocation intermediate is formed here, and here no carbocation intermediates are formed. In the E1 reaction, it carries 2 steps. E2 reaction, it is 1 step. In this, only transition state is formed. In this, in the first step, there is ionization, and second in the in ionization, there is a carbocation is formed, and the second step involves the protonation. So it involves 2 steps. It involves 1 step. In the first step, there is a carbocation intermediate is formed, but in the E2 reaction, there is no carbocation intermediate is formed. In this E1 reaction, there is no transition state is formed, but in this E2 reaction, there is a transition state is formed. In this, polar protic solvent is formed, is good. For this E1 reaction, there should be a polar protic solvent, means there should be protic, means the hydrogen bonding should be there. So here hydrogen should be there. So here polar protic solvent is good, but in this case there should be a polar aprotic solvent is best. So here no hydrogen containing solvent should be there. Strong nucleophile not interfere reaction. Strong nucleophile faster the reaction. Here strong nucleophile does not interfere reaction, and here strong nucleophile that fasten the reaction. Here slow rate determining step is involved. Here fast rate determining step is determining the step for the reaction. In this, rearrangement may take place. Here is no rearrangement take place, because here the carbocation intermediate is formed. In this, we have to arrange the if there is tertiary carbocation is present, then there should be a double there should be a tertiary carbocation should be formed. And this, for this there should be a rearrangement, and that is why in this E1 step there is a rearrangement, and in this E2 there is no rearrangement. Bond formation and bond breaking is not simultaneous. In this, they involve two steps, so there is not a simultaneous steps. No bond formation and bond breaking occur each other, but in the E2 step, there is a bond formation and the bond breaking is simultaneous. Next, the reaction rate is increases when substrate concentration increases. In this reaction, the reaction rate increases when this substrate means your reactant. The reactant, if the reactant concentration increases, then the rate of reaction also increases. In this, the reaction rate is increases when substrate and base concentration. Here, there is a heat of base 2, means the reagent 2. So here, the reagent plus the base both should be here. So if both are there, both here, then the reaction rate will increases. Both follows the Sadjeff rule, and both are known as the beta elimination reactions. So factor affecting E1 and E2. So the factor that are affecting the E1 and E2 reactions are good leaving group. So here the leaving group should be there, good that leaves the molecule easily, that is the alcohol. Here better leaving group faster. Here if the leaving group is better, then this will fasten the reaction. Here in both cases the reactivity order should be tertiary, secondary and primary. In this stable carbocation, tertiary carbocation is formed. Here no carbocation is formed. Here weak base water or alcohol is used. Here favored by strong base. Here should be a strong base. Here polyprotic solvents are used, polyaprotic solvents are used. Here only substrate concentration faster the reaction. Here only substrate concentration is required, but here substrate concentration as well as the base faster the reaction, because the rate of reaction depends on both of them. Here first order kinetics, second order kinetics. So here it follows first order kinetics, it follows second order kinetics. Now the third reaction is your dehalogenation of vicinal dihalides. So in this there is a removal of halogen from this reaction. So here the dehalogenation of the vicinal from this vicinal dihalide. So here from the both dihalides there should be a removal of the halogen. So in this, dehalogenation involves the removal of molecule from a reactant molecule. So here it removes the removal of reactant from the reactant molecule, the removal of the halogens. A compound having two halogen atom on adjacent carbon atom called a vicinal dihalide. So here a compound that is having two halogen atoms on adjacent carbon atom, that is called a vicinal dihalide. So in this case you can see here the both of this carbon are having the two halogens attached to them. So here these are known as vicinal dihalides because they are on the neighboring of each other. The treatment of vicinal dihalide with zinc dust using ethyl alcohol as solvent result in dehalogenation and an alkene is formed. So here when this vicinal dihalide is reacted with zinc dust in the presence of ethanol, then it will form a dehalogenation and then alkene is formed. So in this reaction, you can see that vicinal dihalide is reacting with this zinc, and here this there is a formation of alkene as well as zinc bromide. So here you can see this vicinal dihalide is reacting with this zinc. Then zinc is attacked to this Br position, and it will take it. The Z and Br will abstract out from here, and this bond will shift to this position. After that, this Br will also remove out from here. This is your E2 reaction. It involves E2 reaction from both the side. This these the both the removal of this molecule is occurring. So if from both the side the removal of molecule are occurring. So here is the formation of this this alkene. Next is the controlled hydrogenation of alkyne. So here the controlled hydrogenation of alkyne involved, there should be the addition of hydrogen in the alkyne. So alkyne undergoes hydrogenation in the nickel or platinum to form alkenes. Here alkynes is reacting with hydrogen in the presence of nickel at 250 to 300 degrees centigrade, and here alkene is formed. Here you can take nickel catalyst or the palladium catalyst or the platinum catalyst, and there is a formation of alkene. So there is an addition of this hydrogen on both this carbon. So here alkene is formed. As here we have taken the example of methyl acetylene, and the methyl acetylene, when this hydrogen are added to this position where both the carbon atoms where there is a triple bonding between this carbon, both the hydrogen are adding to both the position, then there is a formation of alkene. Now the fifth step is your pyrolysis. Pyrolysis means there is a decomposition of a compound by heat. So here there is a decomposition of heat, that is called pyrolysis. Pyrolysis means decomposition. So this process, when applied to alkane, is known as cracking, and when it is applied to alkane molecules, then it is known as cracking. So in this case, larger alkanes are broken into mixture lower molecular weight alkenes and hydrogen. So here you can see this is your 6CH14. This is your hexane. It is reacting at 773 degree Kelvin, and here you will see there is a formation of alkanes, alkenes, and hydrogen. You can see here this is your hydrogen. This is your alkene. This is your alkene. This is your alkene, and this is your alkane, and this is your alkane. So here alkane, and hydrogen are formed from this larger alkane. That reaction is known as pyrolysis, or you can say cracking, because it is applied to alkane. That is why it is known as cracking. Now the reaction of alkenes. So these are some chemical reactions of alkene, which involves from the alkene the new products are formed. So in these are 11 types. First is your addition of hydrogen halide, means in alkene we are adding our halogens, hydrogen halides. Second is your hypohalous, means in this there is addition of hypohalous acids, and in the third, addition of sulfuric acid. So here there is addition of sulfuric acid, and the bond is breaking. Double bond is converting into the single bond, means unsaturated bond is converting to the saturated, transforming to the saturated. Now in the fourth is your addition of water. In the addition of water, there will be addition of water molecule, that is H2O. Now the fifth step is addition of halogen. So in this there would be addition of halogen in the alkene. Next is your addition of hydrogen. So in this there will be a addition of hydrogen. Next, catalytic oxidation. In your catalytic oxidation, there will be a oxidation on this alkene molecule. Next is oxidation with potassium permanganate. So here alkene is reacting with oxygen or is oxidized in the potassium permanganate, and there will be a different product is formed. Epoxides like products are formed. Next is your ozonolysis. Ozonolysis means ozonolysis means there is a there is a reaction of alkene with this ozone. Now next is your polymerization. So in this polymerization, there is a formation of uh, polymers like polythenes. So from alkene, there is a polymerization reaction. Here, the last step is the oxymercuration and demercuration of alkene. So here, the oxymercuration and the demercuration of alkene is happening with this alkene. Alkene on oxymeration and demercuration, a new product will be formed. And these are some of the reactions of alkenes that are involving. And uh, these are 11 type of reactions, and 11 type of reactions. So in the this, so let's start the first reaction. So this is the first is your electrophilic addition reaction. So electrophilic addition reaction involves addition of electrophile. In this, we are adding the electrophile in the alkene molecule. Electrophile means the atom that is containing the positive charge. So alkene contain carbon-carbon double bond, to which treatment of hydrogen halide. So uh, here initially addition of hydrogen to form carbocation. After that, the carbocation attacked by a halide to form addition product. That addition reaction is called as electrophilic addition reaction. So here you can see this is the reaction which is happening. And here firstly, this reactant HBr is here the fusion is occurring between this HBr. So here H positive and Br is formed. Br negative, this is your nucleophile, and H positive is your electrophile. This electrophile H positive will add to the alkene molecule. So here example is taken. Here this is your example, and when H positive is added, there will be a formation of carbocation. This H positive is added to the first position of the carbon atom. So here there is a formation of positive charge. Then Br negative is then attacking to this carbocation, and there is a formation of alkyl halide. So here we have taken the example of ethylene. So this ethylene, when react with this HBr, then HBr firstly get fission. In HBr, firstly fission will occur. After that, this H will react to this CH2, and after that, this Br will attack to this H2, and there will be a formation of ethyl bromide. So this is your second example is your 2-butene. So here in this CH3, CH, CH, CH3, this is your 2-butene, because on the second position there is a butene means double bond is present. So its name is 2-butene plus HBr. So here also this HBr get fission, and after that it will attach to any of the carbon from this first carbon, second carbon, or this third carbon. So here it will attack first, this electrophile will attack to the from this left side of the second carbon, and here there is addition of proton, this H positive proton. After that, this nucleophile will attack to this carbon atom. So there is a formation of alkyl halide, and the product form is your 2-bromobutane. Next is the addition of hydrogen halide. So it also carries, these are all the, this is the electrophilic addition reaction. So in this there is addition of hydrogen halide. So the hydrogen halide that is reacting with alkene, that can be anything, HCl, HBr, or HI. And it after that the product formed will be your alkyl halide. So here ethylene, when reacting with this HBr, it will form ethyl bromide. So here ethylene, here we have taken the example of 2-butene. 2-butene when react with this HBr, there is a formation of this 2-bromobutene. So this double bond, this unsaturated, this alkene, which is an unsaturated compound, that is transforming into the saturated compound, that is your alkane. So double bond will transforming into the single bond compound. Next is your Markovnikov rule. In your Markovnikov rule, when a protic acid, this is your protic acid because it is containing your hydrogen. So this protic acid is added to an asymmetric alkene. The acidic hydrogen attach itself to the carbon having a great number of hydrogen substituent, whereas the halide group attach itself to the carbon atom which has a greater number of alkyl substitute. So here you can see that here the protic acid, when it is attached to the asymmetric alkene, means this is your asymmetric alkene, and the acidic hydrogen, when this HBr get fission out, then here will be H positive, which your acidic hydrogen, that is your proton, that will attach to the carbon which is having greater number of hydrogen substituent. So here this H will attach to this carbon atom which is having the more number of hydrogen atom attached to it. So whereas the halide group, so the halide group which attach itself to the carbon atom, where it is attached to the carbon atom which has a greater number of alkyl substituent. So here it will attach to that carbon atom. The halide will attach to that carbon atom, which is having the great number of hydrogen. Attached to the carbon atom which is having the great number of alkyl substituent. So here the alkyl substitute is your CH3, that is having the that is having the more number of this carbon is having the alkyl substitute, and it is having the less number of hydrogen. So this Markovnikov rule tell us that the protic acid is when it gets fuses, then there is then the acidic or your proton hydrogen attaches to the carbon which is having the greater number of hydrogen substitute, whereas the halide group will attach to that carbon atom which is having the great number of alkyl substitute, as well as it is having the less number of or the small number of hydrogen atoms. So it can be stated as hydrogen is added to the carbon with the most hydrogen, and the halide is added to the carbon with least hydrogen. So it also stated that the hydrogen will attach to that carbon atom which is having more hydrogen, and the halide will having most hydrogen, and the Br will attach, that is your halide will attach to that carbon which is having least hydrogen. So there will be a formation of two products. One will be a major and the other one will be a minor. So the major product formed will be the high in amount, and the minor are the exceptions. So the Markovnikov rule basic mechanism. So in this you can see that the Markovnikov rule, this alkene is reacting with this HBr. So this Br will withdraw the electron from this bond and it will get the negative charge, and this hydrogen will get the positive charge. After that, here this H will attack to this position. Here also the bond shifting will occur. So here this bond will shift from between this double bond. The CH2 will withdraw the electron from this CH, so it will get the negative, and this carbon, the middle carbon, will get the positive sign. So here, so this positive will attack to the negative position of this CH2. So it will attack to this position. So the other carbon will get the positive charge. After that, this Br negative will attack to this carbocation. And there is a formation of alkyl halide. So A hydrogen added to the first primary degree carbon which forms more stable carbocation. Secondly, the bromine that is added, this bromine will added to the secondary carbocation which give this product. That is, next is your anti-Markovnikov rule, a free radical addition of hydrogen free radical anti-Markovnikov rule, or free radical addition of hydrogen bromide. So here you can see when HBr is added to an unsymmetrical alkene in the presence of peroxide. So here in anti-Markovnikov rule, there is a presence of peroxide is given. Here 1 bromopropane is formed contrary to 2 bromopropane according to Markovnikov rule. And this reaction is better known as anti-Markovnikov rule addition or Kharash effect. After the name of the MS Kharash, the scientist which has given this effect or this reaction who first observed it, and this reaction is known as Kharash effect or the peroxide effect. So in the anti-Markovnikov rule, or that is known as free radical addition of hydrogen bromide. So in this reaction, you can see this is anti of Markovnikov rule. So here HBr is adding to the unsymmetrical alkene in the presence of peroxide. Peroxide is your H2O2. So here when it is reacting with this propene unsymmetrical alkene, then there is a formation of 1 bromopropane. But in case of Markovnikov rule, there is a formation of 2 bromopropane. So this is just the opposite of the Markovnikov rule. You can say anti of the Markovnikov rule. So this reaction is better known as anti-Markovnikov, and this reaction is given by the first observed and given by the MS Kharash, and this reaction is also known as Kharash effect or your peroxide effect, because here peroxide is evolved. That is why it is also known as peroxide effect. So here propene is given, HBr is given, H2O2. This is a catalyst in which presence the reaction is happening, and the product form is your 1 bromopropane. So the mechanism of anti-Markovnikov addition. So here the mechanism is given. The anti-Markovnikov addition reaction is found to follow a free radical mechanism. In this, the peroxide compound involved help in the generation of free radical. So this peroxide is helping in the generation of free radical, and there is a generation of free radical through homolytic cleavage of peroxide compound. So here there is a happening of homolytic cleavage in this peroxide compound, and after that there is an attack of generated free radical on hydrogen halide, so that we can form halide radical through homolysis. And after that there is an attack of generated halide radical on alkene molecule to form alkyl halide, and after that there is attack of generated alkyl halide radical on hydrogen halide to form alkyl halide through homolytic cleavage of hydrogen halide bond. So in this reaction mechanism, you can see here, firstly there is a homolytic fission in this peroxide molecule, peroxide compound. Okay, after that you can write here RO plus RO, or you can simply write here 2RO. Then after that this 2RO will react with this. There will be a homolytic fission between this HBr. So H will attack with this RO. Both will form a bond. So here ROH is formed and Br is formed. After that this Br, which is having electron, that will attack to this carbon atom, which is having more hydrogen atom, because this is anti of Markovnikov. So this carbon is having the more hydrogen atom, so Br will attack to this position. So this small arrow here shows that this carbon has withdrawn electron from this carbon, or it is getting the positive charge, it is getting the negative charge, and this carbon is getting the positive charge. So this negative Br will react to this positive Cr, and this carbon is having the more hydrogen, and this carbon is having the less hydrogen. After that, this hydrogen, again there will be a homolytic cleavage between this HBr. So this H will react with to this position of carbon, because it is having, this carbon is having the less hydrogen, this less hydrogen, and one alkyl halide is or attached. So it is having more alkyl halide compared to this carbon, and it is having the less hydrogen. So this hydrogen will attack to this carbon atom, this position of this carbon atom. So here again this Br free radical is left, which will again attack to the other molecule of alkene in a solvent, means in a reaction. So here you can see alkyl halide is formed through the by this reaction. So now the difference between Markovnikov and anti-Markovnikov rule. So the Markovnikov rule says that H of goes to double bonded carbon atom which has greatest number of hydrogen atom. So this hydrogen atom, this hydrogen goes to that carbon double bond which is having the greatest number of hydrogen atoms. So hydrogen from the alkyl halide, alkyl halide, not hydrogen bromide, it will react to the alkene to that carbon that is having more number of hydrogen atoms. But in case of anti-Markovnikov, the hydrogen will go to that double bond carbon atom which is having least number of hydrogen atoms. This is just the opposite of each other. Next, in the second point, the initially hydrogen goes to carbocation. So here hydrogen is going to that carbon where the carbocation is formed, to the neighboring. Next, initially halogen goes to carbon atom which has greatest number of hydrogen atom. So here the halogen is going to that carbon atom which is having the greatest number of hydrogen atom. Thirdly, the secondary carbocation intermediate is formed. Here, the secondary carbocation intermediate is formed. Now, in anti-Markovnikov, secondary free radical intermediate is formed. In Markovnikov, peroxide effect is not considered. Peroxide effect is not considered, and in anti-Markovnikov, peroxide effect is considered. So here, the peroxide effect in anti-Markovnikov, there is a peroxide effect. But in case of Markovnikov, there is no peroxide effect. Now the fifth point here, in Markovnikov, there is electrophilic addition reaction. Means the electrophile is adding to the reaction. But in case of anti-Markovnikov rule, there is a free radical addition reaction. So here the free radicals are formed. Firstly, the peroxide. When in peroxide there is a homolytic fission, there is a formation of free radical. So here the free radical get added to the reactant. After that, the alkyl halide is formed in the last fourth of the reaction. Next is the addition of hypohalous acid. Now in this, the alkenes react with hypohalous acid to give halohydrine. So here you can see this alkene. This is a symmetrical alkene. So this alkene is reacting with hypohalous. Hypohalous is HOCl. So HOCl, the HO will get positive and the Cl will get the negative. And here the one CH2 will withdraw the electron from the other, and one will get the positive sign and the other will get the negative sign. So the negative will attack to the positive position of the carbon atom, and the positive will attack the negative position of the carbon atom. So here there will be a formation of halohydrine, means ethylene chlorohydrine is formed. Next, here the mechanism is given. So this HOCl get breakout, means there is a fission in this reaction, and there is a Cl positive plus OH negative. Okay, so here OH is more electronegative, so it will get the negative charge. So here propene, when reacting with the Cl positive, so it will react to the negative portion of the reaction, and here positive will get the OH negative. So it will react, OH will react to the second carbon atom, which is having the carbocation. So here the halohydrine is formed, which is also called in IUPAC, according to name given by the IUPAC, its name will be 2-chloropropanol. Name will be 2-chloropropanol. Propanol all because here alcohol is attached, and chloro because here on the second position there is a chloro is attached. Chloropropanol is 1, 2, 3. Chloropropanol. Next is the addition of sulfuric acid. So the next reaction is your addition of sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid undergoes addition reaction, means the electrophilic addition reaction to form the alkene, to form alkyl hydrogen sulfate. So here you can see that this alkene is reacting with this sulfuric acid. From sulfuric acid, you can see the sulfuric acid, and we will get here alkyl hydrogen sulfate. The product we get here, alkyl hydrogen sulfate. So in this, you can see CH3CH double bond CH2 plus HOSO3H, and here CH3. Here this OSO3H will attack to the second position of the carbon atom, and this H will attack to the first position of the carbon atom. So here you can see that this sulfuric acid will get the fission in H positive and OSO3H negative, and here propene, when propene is reacting with this H positive, there is a formation of this carbocation on the second position of the carbon atom, and this SO3H will react with this positive carbocation. So here there will be a formation of isopropyl hydrogen, we can say it isopropyl hydrogen sulfate. Next is the reaction of addition of water. So in this addition of water, the water added to alkene in presence of acid catalyzed form alcohol. So here the water molecule is added to the propene. In the presence of acid catalyst, there is a formation of 2-propanol. So here you can see here water will get the fission out, and here H positive and O negative will be formed. This H positive will be attacked to the negative portion of the carbon, and OH will attack to the negative portion, positive portion of the carbon. So here this first carbon will withdraw the electron from the second carbon, and it will attack to the first carbon atom. So here CH3 is formed, and on the second position there is a formation of carbocation. After that the OH negative, that is a nucleophile, that will attack to the second position of the carbon atom. So here the product form is your 2-propanol. Now the fifth reaction. Fifth reaction is your halogenation of alkene. Here when alkene is treated with halogen in presence of sodium chloride to give dihalogenated alkane. Means here two atoms of halogens are added to the alkene. So here when alkene is treated with halogen in presence of sodium chloride, it gives dihalogenated alkene. For example, when ethene is reacted with chlorine in the presence of sodium chloride to form 1,2-dichloroethane. So here ethene, when this Cl2 will react in the presence of sodium chloride, then it will form 1,2-dichloroethane. So both the halogen atom will attach to this alkene, and there is a formation of dihalogenated alkene. Now the sixth is your addition of hydrogen. So in this reaction, alkane can be prepared by the catalytic hydrogenation of unsaturated hydrocarbon in the presence of the catalyst nickel or platinum at 200 degree to 300 degrees Celsius. So here alkene is reacting with hydrogen in the presence of nickel at high temperature. So there is a formation of alkane. So here you can see propene is reacting with this hydrogen. Then there is an addition of this hydrogen molecule to the 2 position of the carbon. So here there is a formation of your propane. Alkane is formed. From alkene, propene, the alkane is formed. Alkene, from alkene, the alkane, there is a transformation of from alkene to the alkane by the hydrogenation. Now the seventh reaction is the catalytic oxidation. So in this reaction, the alkene add on oxygen atom across the carbon-carbon double bond when it reacts with oxygen in the presence of silver catalyst to form epoxides. So here epoxides are formed, which are also known as oxidanes, and here the alkene is reacting with the oxygen atom. Here catalytic oxidation is happening when this double bond is reacting with this oxygen in the presence of your silver, then there is a formation of ethylene oxide. So here ethylene oxide is formed by the catalytic oxidation of alkene in the presence of your silver catalyst. Now the questions. Now the first question is your even elimination reaction. So what is the even elimination reaction? That is the first point. Option A is bond formation and bond breakage not occur simultaneously. Bond formation and bond breakage occur simultaneously, all or none of the above. So in this, in the even reaction, there is no bond formation and bond breakage, not simultaneously. Here occurs formation and bond breakage, but not simultaneously. The simultaneously bond formation and bond breakage occurs in E2 elimination reaction. Now the second E2 elimination reaction is there is no rearrangement, there is a formation of carbocation, there is rearrangement, both A and C. The answer is in A, E2 elimination reaction, there is no rearrangement, but second option is formation of carbocation, there is a rearrangement, but both A and C. So here you can say there is a formation, there is a no rearrangement occur. There is no rearrangement occur. So the option A is the correct answer for E2 elimination reaction. Now the third, according to Markovnik's rule, the product formed is hydrogen is added to carbon having greater number of hydrogen. Hydrogen is added to carbon having smaller number of hydrogen. None of the above, yeah, all. In this, you can say that the Markovnik rule, the product formed is the hydrogen is added to the greater number of hydrogen atom. The option is A. A is correct. Now fourth is your E2 reaction. E2 reaction is an example of dehydration. Transition state is not formed, transition state is formed, and no rearrangement or the none of the above. So in E2 reaction, there is a formation of transition state, as well as there is no rearrangement of carbocation. So the option C is correct. So in the fifth, dehydration means removal of water molecule, removal of hydrogen, addition of water molecule, or the none of the above. So dehydration means there is a removal of water molecule. So the option A is correct. Dehydrohalogenation means there is a removal of hydrogen and halogen atom, removal of hydrogen, removal of halogen, yeah, none of the above. So dehydrohalogenation means there is a removal of hydrogen as well as the halogen atom. So option A is correct. Now seventh is your vicinal dihalide. So vicinal dihalide is a compound having two halogen atom on adjacent carbon atom. Carbon having one halogen atom on adjacent carbon atom, or having the three halogen atom on adjacent carbon atom, or the option D, none of the above. So the vicinal dihalides are the compound that are having the two halogen atom on the adjacent carbon atom, or you can say the neighboring carbon atoms. 8. Electrophilic addition reaction. In electrophilic addition reaction, there is a electrophil addition, electrophil substitution, electrophilic addition, or nucleophilic substitution. So the answer is A. In electrophilic addition, there is addition of electrophile addition. 9th, which of the following statement regarding the E2 mechanism is wrong? The reaction by the E2 mechanism are always bipolar. The reaction by the E2 molecules are always second order. E2 mechanism usually occur in one step. Reaction by the E2 occur in two steps. So this fourth option is wrong. Reaction by the E2 mechanism usually occur in two steps. Now the 10th, losing a small molecule from an original organic molecule is elimination reaction, substitution reaction, addition reaction, or none of the above. So the option A is correct. That is your elimination reaction. So these are some of the references for this topic. Thank you.